citations is the big piece here. And citations are mentions of your business around the web. Could include a website link, but doesn't necessarily have to. Typically, it's name, address, phone number. And there are a lot of these different citation types of businesses out there. The most notable, Google, obviously, your Facebook page, considered a citation back to your business. Any organizations that you're in, WCAA, IFAI, any of those kind of things, vendors that might be linking to you, Yelp profile, and social media of any sort are a great place to kind of start with that. Others could include the Better Business Bureau, your house listing, if you have one of those, Chamber of Commerce. There are a lot of these, what we call business directory type sites out there, and getting listed on all of these is going to help you. Doesn't that sound like fun to go do all that? Long-term, it really does help your business, and it does affect your Google My Business profile. So definitely worth the time. Not the most exciting thing to do, but the biggest piece to this is NAP consistency. Name, address, phone number, always the same. And typically, address is the problem here, where people abbreviate different things. So 123 Main ST is different than 123 Main Street. So having those consistent all across the board on every one of those websites is very, very important. And it definitely does help overall. So, all right. Here's an example of a business that has spammed in a bunch of different keywords instead of just their business name, which in this case is Dream Interior Designs. You can see they've added a bunch of other stuff in there that'll probably come back to haunt them. In this case, you can actually, as a business owner, you can mark this as incorrect or flag it as incomplete, things like that. Here's another one in New York City that is not 100% correct. You can see they just added some information in there. One thing you can do is suggest and edit. I would recommend you do this if this is your business. I would probably not recommend doing this if you're just feeling like a nice person and want to fix one of your competitors' listings. I probably wouldn't do this, but if this was your business, you can click on that suggest and edit. And you can also do this from the back end of the system that I showed you before. Change name or other details, marked as closed, things like that. Don't go in and mark a business as closed if they're not really closed. However, if there are some showing up that may be closed because of COVID or something like that, make sure to mark them as closed, because they could be taking up a spot that you could potentially be showing up in instead. When you do click this suggest and edit, it gives you an area to edit different things right inside, in this case, on the phone in an app. Very easy to do. You can move the pin to the correct location, add the hours, all that kind of stuff. All right, some tools that we use or that are available. WhiteSpark is a great tool, whitespark.ca. There's Moz Local, Bright Local, and Yext. These are probably the four most popular GMB type sites. We use Bright Local for all of our clients, seem to like that the best across the board. Love Bright Local. If you do want a free report from the Bright Local system, you can go to WTMarketingpros.com/report and plug in your information, and it will actually give you a full report of everything related to your Google My Business profile, what's right, what's wrong, what you need to fix, what you need to update, all of that kind of stuff. Absolutely free. WTMarketingpros.com/report for that. It checks for these citations and the consistency thereof. So you can see in this case, Affordable Designs and Blinds has the address of 740 Troy for some of their listings, but in this first listing on the BBB, all they have is the city and state. So that one's in red. That one, therefore, is not being counted as a valid citation for their business. And the BBB, pretty big company. I mean, pretty good weight when it comes to improving your business. You know, if you had a link back from BBB, that's pretty good. So Definitely worth fixing that. This report will help you find those and fix those listings. Also looks at your reviews, finds out what reviews you have, where those are at, and recommends getting more if you need more, which we always need more reviews, right? Shows you versus the other guys. So in this case, affordable design and blinds does not show up in the top 50 when somebody does a search for this particular phrase. So gives you that information as well. Does a little bit of information on on-site SEO, some things that maybe you could fix along there. So grab one of those reports. They're pretty good. When it comes to citation best practices, make sure that you are claiming and optimizing your Google Business Profile first. Then consider using a tool like Bright Local, Whitespark, some of those tools to get the job done faster. There's also major data aggregators out there. There's 3 or 4 of those, I think 3 major data aggregators that kind of, they aggregate data about businesses. You can submit your business information specifically to those data aggregators and make sure that that is updated. And if that is updated, a lot of times that filters outward towards a lot of the other citation sites. So getting that done is definitely worth time to do so. And then use a tool like Bright Local Citation Finder or Whitespark to find additional opportunities for listing your business. Typically, this is a great way to find local business directories, in smaller towns in your area that maybe somebody is running a webmaster or somebody is running locally about their business or about their town that you could potentially get listed in as well. Here are some local citation ideas: Chamber of Commerce, different clubs or associations in your area. You could also do a Google search for your city business directory. You might find some there. You can sponsor events that have websites. So it's important, if you're going to sponsor a team or an event or something like that, make sure they have a website where they can actually list you as one of the sponsors and they link back to your site. If they can list your name, address, phone number, and a link back to your website, even better. You're going to get a citation check mark for that. So there are ways beyond just the business directories to still get citations. That's a great way to do it, by sponsoring different things. We put together a list of 75 window treatment and awning citation resources that you can use. WTMarketingpros.com/citations will get you to that.